It's raw every goddamn year.
Yes, Lord.
CIRV'N RAW, goddammit.
Subscribe to CIRV'N IT RAW and let's keep it
all the way funky, uncut, raw. CIRV'N IT RAW, just like my boy Gutter Kane.
Yes, Lord. You done tapped into CIRV'N IT RAW podcast where we let the conversation flow uninterrupted. I'm your host, Gutter Kane, the Gutter Man. And today, I have a remarkable guest. She is a Billboard-charting songwriter, an award-winning hip-hop soul artist, an actress, a publisher, and a serial entrepreneur. Please welcome to CIRV'N IT RAW, Miss Storm. How you doing?
Thank you. I am blessed. Thank you so much for having me on your platform. I appreciate it.
Look, your energy is so attractive.
Thank you.
You know, in the music and the things that you have done. And I just want to be able to, I want my platform to help people get, like the fans that you have, get to know you more.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So before we start, I always want to, start out and let everybody, the viewers and listeners, know where are you from originally. So that.
Good question. I am from Northern Ohio. I'm a very small town girl. I'm from a very, very small town, about 45 minutes from Cleveland, Ohio, about 15 minutes from Akron, Ohio. It's called Warren, Ohio.
Warren, okay. Warren. All right. And you stay in Atlanta now, right?
ATL, shawty.
All right.
Yeah, I've been here in Atlanta since 2014. So 10 years. No, longer than that. This 25 now?
Yeah, 25.
Yeah, I've been here for a minute. So yeah. My children were raised here and Atlanta is home.
Do you like it better in Atlanta than in Ohio?
Absolutely, on every aspect. Where I'm from in Northern Ohio, it's predominantly white. And there's not a lot of wealth. There's not a lot of Black wealth where I'm from. So when I moved here, of course, I moved here chasing my dreams of music and everything. I was working with a lot of Atlanta artists, writing for a lot of Atlanta artists, and I was coming back and forth. But when I actually grounded myself here, I said, oh, my God, Atlanta is one of those places, one of the few places in the United States that if you create something, people are going to come by it. If you build it, you ever heard that saying, if you build it, they'll come? Yes. This place here is the epitome of that. I mean, you can really start any business that you want and people are going to support, your people are going to support, and it's just no other place like Wakanda. This is Wakanda, okay?
That's a good look. That's a good name for ATL, man. I really, I do feel like that's the closest you're probably going to get to a U.S. version of Wakanda.
This is it. This is Africa. New Africa.
All right. Now to speak on your early days singing, okay, you actually got a chance to tour with Kirk Franklin and the family.
The legendary Kirk Franklin and the family. I was one of the youngest singers on tour. I was about 17 years old when I joined the Kirk Franklin and the family tour.
Okay, so we talking Stone Kirk Franklin.
Stone, yes, we were, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. When we were crossing over into what is now, urban gospel, if you will. Genres are so tricky, but yeah, we were definitely crossing over at that time into a more urban gospel realm. Yeah.
So how was it like touring with him?
Oh my gosh. If I knew then what I know now, I was so young. I was so, as they would say, wet behind the ears, but I was singing from a different place. I was singing for God. I was singing for the Lord. It was gospel music. That's my roots. That's where I come from. And when you singing for God, you ain't thinking about the monetary stuff. You ain't thinking about the business stuff and all that other stuff that comes along with the music business. You just thinking about singing for the Lord. And that was a time in my career where I really sung from a holistic place, from a place, that I don't necessarily get the opportunity to sing from that place now, because when you singing gospel, when I was singing gospel music, it was a feeling. It was a feeling. I've caught the Holy Ghost singing on tour, passed out a few times. I mean, it's just, it's overwhelming, especially for someone a teenager. I was only 17 years old. So, and I was working with Tamala Mann and Hezekiah Walker. And these are, I mean, vocally untouchable artists, you know what I mean? Because they get downloads from a higher place. You can rehearse and practice for weeks, but once you get up there and the Holy Ghost getting you and God getting you, you don't know what your voice gonna do. You don't know how you're gonna react. You don't know what's gonna happen. So to answer that question, it was an incredible experience. I'm so elated that I had the opportunity at such an early age to experience that. And I learned so much about working together, teamwork. He was very big on unity, and no one person isn't bigger than the band, one sound. And that's something that I keep with me and I use with my students that I teach and with everything that I do. So it taught me a lot. It taught me a whole lot. Definitely.
Okay. And then you switched over to doing secular music, right?
Yes, I did. So long story short, a couple of months in the break on the tour, I got pregnant. I was being fast. I had a baby and I couldn't go back on the tour pregnant, so at that time I had met a lot of people from different cities and stuff, a lot of movers and shakers, producers, executives. And I was like, I'm a really good writer. I've always been a poet. I've always written poems. Even before I started working with Kirk Franklin, even in like middle school, I would write poetry. And I was like, I want to use some of these gifts that I got while I'm pregnant. I don't want to stop this momentum, because I was like peaking, on my peak of things. So, from a few friends that I met along the way, I had the opportunity to pen some songs for some artists. And that was just like that's when I started, seeing the financial part of this thing. And I said, oh, you can get this much money for this? Oh yeah, sign me up.
Because I'm fixing to tap into that right now. So what are some of the most well-known songs that you contributed to writing that you can actually speak on?
The main song that most people know me for is Day 26. I wrote a single for Day 26. Yeah, when they came out 2010, 2011. But I've penned songs for so many people. Keisha Cole, I've worked with Keisha Cole on some projects, J-Lo on some projects, a couple of hip hop artists that I've ghostwritten for that, I wouldn't put them there like that. But I've penned quite a few. I've penned quite a few songs for quite a few different artists in different genres. And that's the fun part, is being able to jump into different genres that I don't personally promote for myself as an artist, but it's so fun to do it for other artists, that's in different genres. So
okay, I understand that. So what project did you actually work with Keisha Cole?
Her first project, her very, very first project.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now,
do you draw inspiration from specific life experiences or emotions when you do your own personal music?
Everything with my personal music, everything is real life. Everything is based on my real life. Love, breakups, growing pains, just life in general. But I'm a student of life. That's what I call myself. I really get inspired by everything, like everything that's going on in the world, good and bad. I think as an artist, that's one of our jobs, is to, make music for the times. You know what I mean? So I'm very, proactive when it comes to like police brutality, as different political things, which I typically don't jump into, but they sometimes just be pulling at me like, listen, I have so much to say. Why not put it in song,
Because you had the Heritage Angela. That was the song that I heard.
Yes, I came out there on your coast to shoot that one. It was so fun.
Okay. Yeah, that was the first video that came across that I actually heard, and I was like, oh, I'm like, damn, she sounds so talented.
Oh man, yeah, you got to go dig some more. I got so much more stuff, but that one, me and a young lady by the name of Pink Rose, who's actually from LA. Well, I think she's from Chicago, but she's stationed in LA. We met on Instagram. We liked each other's vibe and energy on Instagram. And I said, let's do a song. And she said, forget it. Let's do it. She flew out to Atlanta. We got in the studio the same day, knocked the song out. And then I said, okay, since you came to me to do the song, I'm going to come to you to do the video. So then I flew out there and we shot the video in LA. It was so nice. Yeah. Girl power.
Okay. Now I know you have a lot of entrepreneur stuff going on as well.
Yeah.
I really want to touch on that because I want to know how that has impacted your career.
Yeah, most of everything that I do on the entrepreneur side is still based in the music realm. I do publishing, I do sync licensing, I do vocal coaching and songwriting. So it all kind of like goes hand in hand with what I've been doing this whole time. It's just more of the business side of, less of the artistic side, more of the business side of the mind on that one.
Okay. Yeah, because you started Earkandi Productions LLC.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
So can you let me know what that production company all entails?
Absolutely.
And just what's the goal do you have for the company moving forward?
So Earkandi Productions started out as a production company, just plain production. I had an all-female production company, a couple of female producers that I've worked with throughout the years. And I said, let's start a team. Let's just get a production team and get some songs out to different, shop some songs out. And that's what it started out. And we did so amazing. I started that back in 2010, and our name just started buzzing. When I say business was booming in our city at the time, when I started Earkandi, I was in Columbus, Ohio, and we were literally producing for every up and coming artist coming out of the city, rappers, we were writing and producing, and we had a whole camp, So then I said, let's expand this. Let's go somewhere where we can make more money and get more opportunities, because we shipping songs everywhere. Let's go to Atlanta. So we moved to Atlanta in 2012. And it was just crazy. And then I got in touch. Well, actually, a music supervisor by the name of Charlie Mack, and he's also from the West Coast. He got in touch with me online and was like, "Hey, we hear what you guys are doing. We love what you guys are doing. I put music in films. We want to take a few of you guys' songs out of your catalog and put it into our catalog, and see what we can do with it." And I said, "Okay." And we became very good friends over years and years. And I said, "You know what?" After I realized how much money I was leaving on the table from sync and sync licensing, I said, "You know what? We're about to turn Earkandi Productions into a library, and we're going to do the same thing." I kind of piggybacked off what I learned from Charlie and started my own library. And I said, "You know what?" I said, "Listen, it's one thing, putting our music into other people's catalogs and splitting royalties and splittings and all this." I said, "But we can do this. We have everything here. We an in-house team." I said, "Let's do this." So now Earkandi Productions is one of the biggest female-owned music libraries in the world. We have music in everything from the History Channel to Discovery Channel to the Love and Hip Hop shows, to the reality shows, to commercials, to video games, you name it. And so yeah, we do a lot of stuff. Earkandi Productions is just I call it just a one-stop shop. We do vocal coaching, we do stage presence, we do artist development, we do state licensing, we do everything. We do it all.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Do you have any other plans for it moving forward?
Honestly, I'll be all the way honest with you. I'm trying to expand and get another production. I want to get someone under me that can kind of take it over, which is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. But I'm trying to get someone to kind of start their own thing underneath Earkandi and start their own thing under kind of like an umbrella company almost. And then, because the reason I say that is I have I have 14 clients. I don't really shop for them. I don't promote, hey, I'm looking for artists for this. I work with my same crew, but I come across, being in Atlanta, so many dope producers, so many dope songwriters, so many dope artists, and I just don't have the space for them myself. So I'm trying to train. I'm looking to be a mentor to more people and kind of teach them how to step into the whole sync world so that they can start their own thing, and maybe I can, umbrella it to someone else.
I got what you're saying. Basically,
there's so much money to be made. It's so much money to be made.
Okay.
It's enough room for everybody.
See, a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't understand that.
There's no need to be greedy.
Yeah, no need to be greedy. No reason to hate on the next man.
No, not at all. Not at all. And it's something that, to be all the way honest with you, over the last 15 years, because I've been doing this since 2010, over the last 15 years, more and more urban music is starting. If you look at commercials, listen to the ads on the radio, more and more hip hop is starting to become incorporated. Whereas 15 years ago, you would never have heard, whoop, there it is on Burger King. You would have never heard that, So now that our music is really, we're the culture. It's the culture. Now that our culture is starting to really get picked up on bigger brands and bigger platforms, it's more of a demand. We need more. So it's so much opportunity. It's no need to be greedy at all.
Yes.
New movies are going to keep coming out. New commercials are going to keep coming out. New advertising and marketing tools are going to keep coming out. So you got to keep supplying and demand.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of TV shows and movies are going to start trying to license like your music to put in the TV shows and the movies.
Absolutely.
And stuff like that. Yeah, so
absolutely. It's just a lot of administration work that goes with it. As far as making sure everyone's numbers are right. It's like fingerprints with your ISRC code, your ISWC code, all your UPC information. And then, doing that for hundreds of artists at a time, it takes so much time with submitting and pitching. So I have a very tight niche crew that I do everything for them. So because my name is on it, I can't afford no mess ups, because you mess up one time, that's it. That's it. There's no games with that. So
it's a reflection of you. So
absolutely.
Now, on top of that, you also have the M&M Foundation.
Yes. So the M&M Foundation is the Moving Mountains Foundation of motivational speakers. I started that in 2012. And the reason why it's so near and dear to me is because I grew up like most artists, sadly, on Skid Row. I didn't really have much. And, I had a mentor. I had several mentors, to be honest, but I had one mentor in particular who would come to the apartment complex, the projects, if you will, that I stayed in, and they would come in one of the what they call it's like an apartment that they show, like the show property at the complex.
The one that looks nice.
Yeah, the one that looks nice.
Yeah, I didn't talk about.
They turned that when they wasn't showing it. This lady would come there, and she would teach us how to do programs like Fruity Loops, Pro Tools. Well, I don't think Pro Tools was around, but FL Studio was around, Nuendo, Reason, Logic, stuff like that. And she took out her time to teach us how to use these programs and teach us so many different things about the business. And I said, if it wasn't for her, I owe her so much. If it wasn't for that woman coming there, half of us would have been in jail or dead, just because we didn't have nothing to do. We didn't have any outlet. And, she came, she was in the business. She was an executive for a very, very long time. I'm from Ohio. I think she worked with Zapp and Roger and Rick James and so many different legends that she's worked with. And she was just freely volunteering and pouring her knowledge into, the youth in the urban area. And I was like, everything that I've done and accomplished now, I always think back on her. Like, if it wasn't for this woman who took out her time for free to come and pour into us in these apartments and these projects, I don't know where half of us would have been, So the Moving Mountains Foundation is something that I've done because I feel like it's time to pass the torch. I feel like if someone's pouring into you, it's your job to pour into others. And so that's what I do. And right now with that, I kind of like, since COVID, because I was having people come to my home and, I was, in their home, I kind of like slowed back on it. But what I'm trying to do is get a mobile studio to where I can go and pull up into these urban communities and let them come onto the vehicle. So I'm in the midst of doing that right now. And it's going to be really awesome when I'm done with that. That's great. I'm even thinking about taking it on a tour and just trying to touch all of the many urban communities and set up shop in every state and, once or twice a month and, go on tour with that. And of course, it's a lot of money. It costs a lot of money to get that done, but God will make a way. If that's something he put in my heart to do, I'm sure he's going to see it through. So.
No, I'm glad you're doing that. I mean, first of all, we do want to give a shout out to the lady that helped you, because not a lot of people were willing to come into these poverty-stricken neighborhoods and
tell me about it. And it was rough out there where I'm from, baby. It was rough, okay?
I'm originally from Louisiana, so I'm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Now, I've been to the projects that they tore down in Louisiana, and I remember the windows was like this small. I felt like you was in jail almost. Now that when I first went out there, but before they tore them down, I got a chance to walk through there. Whenever I'm traveling, I always say, take me to the hood. That's where I feel good. Take me to the hood. I got to see it. And that is inspiration for me all the time. That's where I'm from. I ain't worried. It's my folks.
Yeah, see, so that's in New Orleans. I'm actually from Jonesboro, which is up north. It's near Shreveport.
Oh, Shreveport. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But,
So you ain't
but
from
they,
New Orleans. Okay. Shreveport.
I'm not from North.
Shreveport. Yeah.
But they tore down a lot of projects in Shreveport as well. The one
I
like
ain't
a
never
lot of
been to
projects
that.
throughout that were all jacked up or they felt was too bad or too
They
crime
done
stricken and shit.
gentrified it.
Yeah,
They
they
done
knocked them down.
gentrified it. Mm-hmm. That's what they do.
Before I move on from the M&M Foundation, what important lessons do you wish to share with the young people? You know, as far as not only the foundation, like what you're doing with it, but like, is there anything else that you're trying to, you're trying to interject into the foundation for the younger?
I'm trying to give all the young artists, creatives that are overlooked or don't know how to get to the next level a chance. I'm trying to help them get discovered. I'm trying to help them, learn how to market themselves and get themselves out there. I'm trying to introduce them to people who can change their life so that they don't have to worry about going down the wrong street and making the wrong turn and end up doing something that they regret because they don't have the outlet that they need to have. And I mean, because that's what someone done to me. I mean, my name's Storm. I got my name from the streets. I've been Storm for a long time. And sometimes I be having to still, restrain Storm, because Storm has been through a lot of stuff and Storm acts out a lot. Just from lack of a lot of different things that we should have and that I didn't have. And I know what that feels like. So my ultimate goal with the Moving Mountains Foundation is to help save lives through music, because that's what music done for me. Music saved my life without a doubt. Ain't no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So I'm trying to help, the ones that I can help through this music thing by any means necessary. I've been in this thing for almost 20 years. I know everybody there is to know. I know the decision makers. I know the people who have the clout and the know-how and the pull to do whatever needs to be done in this game. So if I'm in a position with all this knowledge and all these resources, I don't need them anymore. Why not help someone who does? And that's my thing. That's what I want to do. I just want to help people.
Well, thank you for that.
Thank you.
How did you get your name? That's off the dome question right there. I was listening to you talking. I was like, okay.
Well, I'm from Northern Ohio, and I was in a group called the Underworld. 839 Truzik, shout out to the Underworld, 839 Truzik, my family in Ohio. And we all were kind of like X-Men characters. We had Iceman, we had Incognito, we had Wolverine, and I was the first female. I was Storm. And, we all from the same place. We all had the same struggle, and music was the thing that saved all our lives. We would get together in the ciphers at the corner store on the block. We'd go to each other's houses and just be in the car, doing the cipher thing. And literally. And that's where it came from. Mm-hmm. Yep, and it stuck with me. It's been that's been my name for ever since I was in like sixth grade.
Okay, yeah, you had that forever.
Forever. People know that name and don't know my real name. It's so funny.
It's crazy because I literally had to go. I had to dig deep to find your real name.
Right, everybody be calling me. Even my family like Storm. I'm like, yeah, do you even know my real name? Y'all don't even know my real name, do you?
Yeah, I had to dig deep to try to find your real name. Everything that came up was Miss Storm.
That's right. That's good. I mean, I'm doing my job.
Who are your top favorite rappers or singers?
Okay, let's go rappers first.
Okay.
Pusha T.
Ooh.
Pusha T. Benny the Butcher. Shout out to Benny. That's my dog.
That's my boy right there.
3D Nati. I don't know if you're familiar with 3D Nati.
Come on now. Look, I told you. I'm trying to tell people. I am a hip hop head.
Louisiana. That's right. Yes. That's right. That's home. That's home.
You got them gold slugs at the bottom.
Yes. Listen, 3D. 3D's team. That's one battle I don't want.
3D.
I fuck with 3D.
3D. If you listening, I'm trying to get you interviewed too.
Right. And she's so real. She's so real. I love her. Yeah. 3D. Pusha T. Benny the Butcher.
The Butcher coming, nigga.
Let me see, right? Kendrick, and who else? I'm gonna have to say Pac. Even though I don't put Pac in my top 20 lyricists, because me personally, I don't consider Pac a lyricist, but I consider him a passionate poet, and there will never be another Pac, ever, never. I mean, he can take any beat. It could be an R&B beat, it could be a rock beat, it could be a straight acoustic guitar, and he could talk about a paper bag, and he gonna make you feel like you know what he's talking about in that paper bag. That is a gift. You hear me? That is a gift. Oh, I left one out. Papoose. I love Papoose.
What?
Man, ain't nobody freestyling like Papoose, dog. That man got a. You talking about gift? Papoose got a gift. It's undeniable gift. Undeniable gift.
Look, when I heard him when he came out with K-Slay and he dropped that alphabetical slaughter.
Oh my God. I tell everybody about that. I said, did y'all just hear what this man just couldn't do that? Listen, that's a gift, yo. That's something you can't be taught. That's a gift.
Yes. For I don't think people understand that for the mind frame you have to be in to do that shit lyrically and make it make sense.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And it's one thing just going A, apple, and B, bird, C, cat, and but no, he'll go in depth and talk about it, break it down in the detail, hit punchlines on it, do some similes and some metaphors, and a couple of times before you go. I said, did y'all even understand what y'all don't even understand what he just did right there. He's one of those rappers, you got to listen to it a few times to even get everything that he said. That's crazy. But yeah, those are my favorite rappers. Singers, of course, Beyonce. People hate on Beyonce. I'm definitely a part of the Beehive. I'm a vocal coach, and trust me, some of the things that she does with her vocals can't be taught. They are gifts. I also love Pink. I don't know if you know who Pink is. I know you know who Pink is. I love Pink. I love Beyonce. Okay. I love Patti LaBelle. I love Fantasia. I get compared to her a lot. I love Fantasia. Yep. And I love Tina Marie.
Ah, fine desire, huh? Fire and desire.
Yes. There'll never be another Tina Marie, ever. There'll never be another Tina.
I tell people, look, I'm a hip hop head. It's gonna be very rare that you run across an artist that I've never heard, unless it's like somebody that's like new. Yeah. I'm just not really tapped into
a lot of the new artists. I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know a lot of the new. A lot of them sound so much the same. I just say they all Future. I'm like, that's Future, ain't it? They're like, no, that's such. I'm like, oh, that ain't Future. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't look. I have an issue with that too. I feel like the music is so repetitive and it sounds exactly the same. It's kind of hard to look.
Decipher who's and I don't like that, because that's one of the things that I love about being a creative is that you get to be you. You don't have to mimic or I mean, I get paying homage to other artists that inspired you. I'm with that all day, but it's like you have to find your own voice in this thing. You have to have your own sound. Otherwise, you're just a copy. You're just a carbon copy. It's no fun. And the world isn't getting what you have to give,
That is true.
Yeah.
Now, one question. What made you incorporate rapping and singing?
It's just something that honestly, rapping is nothing more. Okay, music, rapping or singing, songwriting is what I do. I'm a songwriter first. So being a songwriter, there's no genre. It's just a conversation. You know what I'm saying? So if we want to sing this conversation or we want to spit this conversation, this feels it just depends on how I feel. But ultimately, I'm a songwriter first, and it's just a conversation. Music to me is nothing more than a conversation where I'm telling you I done just broke up with this guy. I'm ready to shoot him. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm in tears, or, I'm on the block. I'm selling rocks and, I'm watching the clock. Whichever one it is, it's still a conversation. It's just a conversation. So they both come natural to me. And I hate that artists these days, we can't be accepted for just being a creative, just having a conversation. It's like, oh, well, she's a singer. Oh, well, she's a rapper. Oh, she's this. No, I'm an artist. I'm a creative. I don't let the genres, It's just like natural for me. This is like breathing.
What's your favorite song of yourself?
Are You In?
Are You In?
Which is the hip hop one. When I'm talking about the police brutality, and I think it's one of my most unique songs because it's a triple entendre. I'm saying run, and then I'm asking you, are you in? And then it's an abbreviation for rise up now.
Damn.
So, and it's to us, for us, from us, you know, and it was like my secret. Well, it really wasn't a secret. I was pretty direct in there. I was pretty direct in that song, but it was like my coding to like, hey, you know, we need to do something. We need to rise up. We need to unite. We need to stop shooting each other and start looking at the real enemy here. Like, we need to rise up now. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, are you in? Cuz, you know what I'm saying?
What specific situation? And I know a lot of police brutality stuff have happened that contributed to that song, because that's the one that has the cover art where you had
yes, and I got my fro.
Yes. What specific situation happened that put you at like, okay,
George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, but yeah, George Floyd. You know, growing up in the projects, growing up in the urban communities, I done lost a lot of friends early. Like, when I go home, I'm visiting graves. In my yearbook, my graduating class, most of them are dead or in jail for life. Like, I'm literally like one of the last ones standing in my group from where I'm from. When I say it was real bad where I was from, I mean, I watched one of my good friends get killed in front of me, shot. I've been walking with a couple of friends and he got shot right beside me and didn't even know he was shot until I said, bro, you bleeding. And then, you know, shock kick in. It's like, oh shit, I got shot. And then it started like, oh shit, I got shot. Then I seen one of my other friends get attacked by a canine and killed to death, mauled by a canine. We was getting chased. Listen, all that stuff traumatized me, but it was like, I knew what we was doing. I'm not saying what we was doing was good. I ain't saying what we was doing was bad, but I knew what we was doing. It was like, okay, every action has a reaction. Everything you do has a consequence. But these innocent people, when I seen George Floyd get his life taken away from him over on the phone, it was like I was right there. I felt like I was suffocating right there with him. And I was so angry because I'm like, this stuff I'm telling you that happened, don't nobody know about this. It ain't make the news. It ain't we ain't have Instagram and Facebook then. This was years ago. You know, we was young and dumb doing stupid stuff. Nobody knew about this. And there's so many other stories. I'm sure you got some. We all got some that was never televised, that was never made public. But this right here was public. And you mean to tell me ain't nobody in the outrage? Ain't nobody doing nothing? Ain't nobody ready to go listen? Ain't nobody ready to go do nothing besides march and cry? No, no. I just ain't about that life. I ain't about that life. I ain't about that life. No. The way I look at it is everybody bleed the same. No. No. So yeah, that's what I was angry. I was angry and I was sad, and it kept getting replayed over and over on the TV, on the phones, on social media. And I'm just like, you know, I just couldn't help but talk about it. And I was hoping that by me talking about it, it struck something with someone. It was a call to action. Like, you know, I know that song right there got me probably 15 to 2,000 more followers that I didn't have, that were like in my DM, like, you know, what we gonna do? Like, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm not saying I'm an activist per se. I mean, I guess I am, but I'm not out here saying, okay, we're gonna march, we're gonna do it. Y'all don't want to know what I'll say do. Because I've always been more Malcolm X more than Martin Luther King. I'm just say that. Yeah, no. I'm saying protect your own. All I'm saying is protect your own. And if you see somebody who look like you getting hurt, don't just record it. I'm not saying don't record it, because Lord knows we need the footage nowadays when everything is going on. But don't just stand there. Do something. I couldn't have just stood there and watched that happen. It wouldn't. And I'm a woman. I'm a female with kids. I got children and shit to lose. But I still would not have just stood there and let that happen. Are you in? Rise up now. What are we scared of? We ain't slaves. We ain't got no masters. Ain't nobody whipping us. And we ain't gonna stand for that. It's time to stand up. And you know, that's my favorite song, because it was a bold move, being that majority of my audience knows me as more of a singer, or ultimately, you know, just seeing all of the tragedies that happened to our young Black men and women across the country during the pandemic, and it was just televised. And I don't think that I can recall a time since I've been alive where I've actually seen a life unrightfully taken by the opposite side, that's supposed to protect and serve for us. And it put me in a state of shock. It put me in a state of trauma. It put me in a state of rage. And I was upset as a creative foremost, because at the time I was working with a lot of dope major artists that was working on projects. I mean, a lot of stuff got put on hold during that time for a lot of different artists, because how you gonna put out a song talking about this, and that, and all this is going on, and no one was speaking up. And I know from being in this business that a lot of mainstream artists, if you will, lack creative control. So it's not to say that a lot of artists didn't want to speak on it or, want to touch on it. A lot of them couldn't. A lot of them could not. So being that I'm a free agent, I'm an independent artist, I do what I want and what I feel when I want and when I feel. I took it upon myself to speak up on the matter in hopes that it would resonate with our community to say, okay, enough is enough. We need to try to unite first and foremost. And if nothing else, at the bare minimum, if we see one of our sisters or brothers getting pulled over or harmed, or it looked fishy in any way, to jump in, to step up, to rise up, and to get involved, because we have the right to do that. We have the right to stand up for what's right. We have the right to help our people. Nothing should stop us from doing that, regardless of a badge, a title, or anything. Right is right, wrong is wrong. That's how I look at it, and that's where the song derived from.
Okay. No, I'm actually glad that you pointed out the fact that some artists couldn't say things, because to the outside person, they may look at it like, oh, the artist just doesn't want to say anything.
Yeah.
But then I think that they need to understand that there are some artists and certain people that are in positions where they can't say certain stuff.
Right. I'm gonna tell you something. Earkandi Productions is my bread and butter. I do music as an artist from Miss Storm, from pure love and pure passion. The amount of money that I gross from an artist wouldn't even pay my rent. It wouldn't even pay my car insurance. I would be honest with you. I'm at a place to where we're all, as creatives, are in a place to where the labels are tied in with the DSPs like Spotify, iTunes, Apple, and all that. And we don't see a lot of that money. So when you have, I say all that to say, when you have major artists who rely on their fan base to sell records, you can't go out here and just jump out and do something radical, like speak on politics and police brutality, regardless of how bad you want to, because then that affects your fan base. Let's just be real. Let's just be honest. A lot of the fans and consumers of hip hop are white, young white youth, white Caucasian youth. Okay, that's the truth. Those are the numbers. Look, I was trying to find a way to say it. Those are the true statistics. The younger suburban children are supporting hip hop sales. Those are the facts. Anyone in this thing will tell you that. And if you go out here and say anything that might deter them from buying your next album or buying your next tour ticket, most artists can't afford, on top of the creative control, most artists can't afford to lose any sales or any people, any consumers, because this is a business. We're selling ourselves. We are what we're selling. We are the product. We the crack. You know what I mean? And
Damn. I know they hate to look. I know motherfuckers hate to hear it like that.
They hate to hear it like that. It's the ugly truth, but it's the truth, and it's just the truth. Just look at it. I'm a truth teller. I keep it black and white like a penguin. You hear me? I like to stick to the facts, no gray area. And me, my demographic, my fan base are, I would say, 25 up, African American. That's the music. I make music for us. Now, if you another demographic and you want to join in and support, I love that. But I'm not making the music for them. I'm not. I'm making music for us. Right now, I'm dabbling in Southern soul, and it is the most exhilarating thing that I've done in my career, because it's a blend of genres. Yeah. Southern soul is like hip hop, blues, gospel, R&B, all mixed in one. The conversation is different, and the conversation is to us, by us, for us.
Yeah, and are jazz. You familiar with Southern soul? I feel like jazz music is in there too.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I didn't say jazz.
I don't think you did. But
Yeah,
don't
and
put me
there's
on
another one. Oh my God, it's something else that's in there that stems from Africa, and it's I can't think of the name of it. I can't think of it. You probably know exactly. It's a genre though. It's an actual genre, and it's mixed in with it too. Oh, I can't say it. I'm gonna mess it up. I ain't even gonna say it.
Look, if you think about it between now and right when we about to end, go ahead and throw it out there and shit.
Right. Oh my God, it's on the tip of my tongue too.
as a side note though, how did you watching the video? Now I know George Floyd passed from that particular situation.
Yeah.
But how did you feel when you saw that? And I'm pretty sure it triggered what you saw as a younger, because we know we both around the same age. So I know you saw the Rodney King situation for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Then.
Oh yeah.
So
with the Rodney King situation, to be honest with you, I didn't, to this day, I didn't see the actual beating. I seen the riots. I seen people looting. At that time, even still now, they only publicize the bad things that we do. So all I seen was the riots, and I seen the looting, people running out of stores and stuff. And I heard the stories of Rodney King, but I never actually seen him like dead on the ground. Did he even die on site? Didn't he make it to the hospital and died at the hospital?
No, Rodney King made it through the whole thing. He went to trial.
Okay, that's right. So yeah, so that was a different situation. This brother, George Floyd, and Breonna Taylor, and then the young woman that just got killed from calling the police just here recently, I think it was in Illinois.
Sonia Massey, I think that's her.
Massey, I think. They were unalived. You know what I mean? In our face, on their cameras.
Yeah.
That was just crazy. I still can't understand how, they say eye for an eye, right? Some of us believe in eye for an eye. You know what I mean? It shocks me that, what's the white man that killed Trayvon Martin? Zimmerman.
George Zimmerman?
Zimmerman's still alive, walking around, being prosperous. Trayvon Martin gone. And with all these other police officers that have done this stuff, they still walking around, whether they, laid off from work or potentially going to be charged and sentenced time, they still alive. That don't sit right with me. It don't sit right with me. There's no justice. And I just don't sit right. I don't sit right with me. And here we are, 2025. And Donald J. Trump is about to be back in office again, which I'm up in the air about Donald Trump, but his followers is the main thing that I'm worried about. And then this immunity that he's preaching that he's going to give the police officers. How do you think that's going to play out for us? They already got immunity.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a very tough one because you don't know. It's a lack of knowing. So you don't know if you should be scared when you walk out the damn door or not. You're just going to the grocery store at this point. Like you just don't know what the situation may be.
Fear is not of God. Fear is not of God. We can't fear. We can't live in fear. If you have fear in your heart and you scared to go outside and live your life, that's not living. You might as well die. You might as well be dead.
Ooh, you sound like my cousin Shatasha, who did the chorus for the
I like Shatasha. Cheers to Shatasha.
Yeah. She said the same thing.
What type of life is that? What type of life is that? We don't deserve to live in fear for just being. We don't deserve that.
Damn.
And it's sad to say, but if we don't do something, if we don't stand up for ourselves, protect ourselves and our loved ones, it's going to keep happening. We're the only ones who can change it. We're the only ones that can stop it. So, RUN was just the beginning. I have an album that is called Black Dreams, and I was supposed to release it last year, and I put a hold on it because as we're talking, you can imagine what I'm talking about on these songs. And I said, I put RUN out there. I ran that. I got a lot of good feedback, and then I got some crazy feedback too. I actually was on an interview just like this one with a podcaster in UK, and he asked me this question. I have to end the interview. He said, "Aren't you tired of complaining about being Black and all the things that's happening to the Black people on live podcast now?" No. I said, yeah, and I went in for about 15 minutes long.
No, I mean, I'm not gonna, as a Black person, as a Black male, I'm tired of the struggle, but at the same time, I'm willing to take it because it kind of, that's what defines who we are.
But it's different now. Just because we strong don't mean we supposed to get beat and mistreated. I'm with you. But that's just where I'm at. I have a real militant mind frame when it comes to my motto is love everyone that looks like you hard, no matter what. You don't know. Like, for instance, a lot of my family members and friends that I grew up with have been traumatized from just life. And some of them have mental health issues and stuff. And so, if you see him standing out there, or you see him begging for money, or you see him doing crazy stuff, it don't mean, oh yeah, that he crazy. I'm gonna treat him less than human. No, life has been hard for us from the beginning, and it still is. So I love everyone who looks like me hard, no matter what, no excuses. And I feel like if we all together as a people had that mentality, it'd be a lot less fatalities.
Yeah.
Because if you really love someone who look like you, if you see that brother over there getting mistreated, you're gonna go and stop it. You're gonna go and say something. You're gonna stand up for it. You're gonna do something. Whatever you can do, you're gonna do. Because I would want someone to do it for me. And I got 3 sons. I would want somebody to step in. If you see a police officer or anybody mistreating my son, I would hope that you wouldn't just stand there and record and watch his life be taken from him. I would hope not, because I wouldn't let your child stand there and let his life be taken from him. I wouldn't. No way. No way. This is just a human being. He ain't a god. He's just a human being with flesh, just like me and you.
Yeah, you heard what she said now, and she's in Atlanta, okay? And Tupac shot 2 off-duty cops in Atlanta for roughing up a Black man for no reason.
And that's what we got to get to. Yeah. And I hate to say that, but I mean, what we gonna do? We gonna lay down? You gonna just lay down and let them take your life like it don't mean nothing to you? That's crazy. That's insane. You mean to tell your mama went through 9 months of labor with you, almost died having you. You a miracle. God brought you here, and you just gonna let another person, another man, flesh and bones with blood, just like me and you. Ain't nothing superior about it. Just take your life.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go a little bit more positive.
But that's the times. Those are the times.
Can you share any memorable experiences or challenges that you faced in your career? I'm talking about one that kind of stands out the most.
I know, right? Like I heard that sigh. I said, "Woo." Let me think about that for 5 seconds. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. Being in the position that I'm in my career right now, I've lost a lot of friends. I'm gonna tell you, I had so many girls that I thought were my friends. And if you look on my Instagram or any of my social medias, I sus people to death because I really feel like we cousins or sisters in some way. I love us. Like I said, I truly do love us. And I look out for my people in any way I can. But the more successful I become, the less friends I realize I have. And the less people that want to see me do good. So the hardest part that I've had to experience being an artist, being a creative, being a businesswoman, is just the loss, the reality sets in to where people aren't always happy for you, and you got to be happy for yourself. And the more successful I become, and the more successful people around me that I know that are successful that have become, the less people start to clap and pat you on the back. You got to keep clapping for yourself and keep patting yourself on the back. It's to a point with me now to where people just expect, people just expect like, oh, that Storm, she gonna be all right. Oh, that Storm, she got it together. That Storm, nobody call and say, how you doing? How your kids doing? You eat today? You good? How your mental health? You okay? They call and say, oh, I know you just came off tour. And I ain't, you ain't hit my Cash App, or you ain't asked me if I wanted to come on tour, or you ain't asked me if I wanted to, see you shopping, like, like.
Damn. Yeah.
So, I hope I answered your question, but yeah,
No,
to
you
be all the
did.
way frank, the business part of things has been, it's a male dominated industry, and I'm a female, and I'm doing a lot of things that, you know, a lot of females aren't doing in the business side of the industry. So I've come into a couple of obstacles, but it's nothing unexpected. But what's been the shocker and the most unexpected thing for me is even mentors, artists that I looked up to, greats, legends, icons that I've looked up to, once they realize what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, I've had shade, like from people who I worshipped almost. I put on plateaus and pedestals so high, and then once you get to really, you know, it's been a lot of disappointment on that end. I'll put it that way.
Remember, flesh and bone. Flesh and bone. Now you just said that now. Flesh and bone.
And I also say I love everyone I look like you hard, no matter what. No matter how hard the hate or shade get to. I said it, but you asked the question. I'm just telling you, that's been it's been a reality check for me. So now I don't sis and bro as many people, and I don't tell a lot of people my business now. You see me, you don't, you don't. I don't have nothing to prove or try to impress no more. It's like, you know, I hope you get it. I'm praying for you. I hope you're praying for me. You need me, I'm here. That's, you know.
That's what
I'm a really loving, caring, outgoing, loving on everybody, help everybody type of person, because I feel like that's how I'm supposed to be. But you can't be like that with everybody all the time.
Well, your personality gives off that. At least that's how I felt. Even though I have not met you in person, that's the first impression I got from my interaction with you. You know,
Thank you. And I think you ought to be like that. But people take advantage of people like that. You know, people really do. And it's sad because, yeah, it shouldn't be. We all should love each other. It says that in the Bible, love thy neighbor.
Ain't that the truth? Well, can you give us any hints about your upcoming album or project?
Yes. So I'm working on a plethora of things right now. Right now, I'm still finalizing my hip hop album, which is straight hip hop. It's more in the vein of the RUN. It's the militant state. And y'all gonna want it because here come 2025. It's about to get real again. And it's gonna be right on time. It's ready. I mean, it's ready. So Black Dreams is definitely coming. Hopefully 2025. That's my plan. I'm a slight perfectionist. Slight.
Okay.
And yeah, that's in the works. And right now I'm about to release my new Southern Soul record. It's called All Night Long. All night. Yeah. It's called All Night Long, and that's gonna be released next month. It's produced by Heartbeats, which is one of the dopest producers in the South right now. Yeah, that'll be released next month, and it's a really feisty R&B bluesy Southern Soul record. I'm sure everyone is gonna love it. It's something different. It's something very different. It's like a blend of R&B and Southern Soul. And yeah, that's it. And I just got off tour. I was on tour for about 8 months in 2020. What's this year? 2025. I was on tour for majority of 2024. Mm-hmm. And I'm right now. I'm closing, the dates on tour for 2025. So I plan on going back on tour 2025 and just staying busy, making good music, loving on myself, healing myself, as I suggest all of us do, because we need to heal.
Well, from Gutter Kane and Serving It Raw, for the people, the mature people, I want to honor you for your hip hop contributions. But I know for the younger people, they're gonna say, I want to give you your flowers.
Thank you. And look, I appreciate all of them. I really do. Thank you so much.
I want to thank you for the music and the contributions that you have given us. Not only music, but the Earkandi Production, as well as the M&M Foundation, and just anything else that you plan on working in the future that I know that you're going to do.
Most definitely. I appreciate that, brother. And listen, I'm coming to Seattle this year. I want to get with you and see how we can incorporate something you got going on. I'm all about sharing platforms and expanding and collaborating. So I got a few things I'm working on in Seattle. With a couple of dope artists out there that I got to introduce you to, that's doing their thing, that's really taking the urban music in Seattle to a whole nother level. I mean, they're really dope. Shout out to Black Staxton and them there in Seattle. But yeah, we definitely gonna connect. We're gonna connect.
Okay. Well, hey, let my viewers and listeners know how they can listen to your music or reach out to you.
Yes, you guys can follow me on all social media platforms at the number 1 MISSSTORM. That's Miss Storm with 2 S's, and that's on all platforms. And I'm on all DSPs, Apple, Spotify, and all those platforms. And y'all run it up, Pandora on there, iHeart, all that.
Well, hey, I want to thank you for taking the time, and I want to thank my viewers and listeners for checking out another episode of Serving It Raw. I hope they enjoyed it. Okay, and if you did, please share to subscribe to our podcast, and that's on all streaming platforms, and leave us a review. And you know, you can find me on social media at GutterCane318 on IG, or just GutterCane on Facebook, and you have the Serving It Raw podcast on Facebook. Okay, and you know, we'll be back next week with another great episode. Okay, and we're always tapped in, so this is a safe space for you. So anytime you want to do another interview or just discuss or just let your fans or my viewers and listeners know what you're working on and how things are going in the future, we can always do this again.
That sounds great. I'm gonna hold you to it.
Oh yes, Lord, please do.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah. All righty, but in the
Thank
meantime,
you again for having me. You enjoy your weekend.
Oh, you too. And I want everybody to have a great week, and I will talk to everyone later.
Just make sure the coke fire. Told the jeweler cut some links and bring the gold higher.